What is the essence of religion? I think when we think of the word, we put it in a very theistic point of view. We think of religion as the contemplation of gods or God or spiritual belief systems. But religion is a lot broader than that. And I think it has a lot to do with manifestation and why your life turns out the way that it is. But before we get to the manifestation part of religion, I think it's important to understand what the essence really is. And a good place to start is with the etymology of the word religion, which comes from the word religare, which means to bind or to be bound to something. And that is really what a religion is something that you bind yourself to. A religion is a pursuit or an interest that you have that you pursue with devotion, right? And each religion has a set of elements. And amongst all religions, they share a set of elements. All religions will have most, if not all, of these elements that belong to them. So what are those core elements that belong to religions? I think there's 6. The first one that most, if not all, religions seem to have is a ritual. They have a consistent method that you follow on a repeated basis in order to participate in that religion. Every religion seems to have a doctrine. They have a set of principles that make up the belief system. They have a set of beliefs that describe whether you're participating or not participating in the religion. Every religion also has, or most have, a temple. This is a place that you go to participate in the religion, to worship the religion, to participate in the rituals of that religion. Religions also have idols. These can be lesser or greater idols, but they're often people that you look up to that are participants in this religion that are further along the path than you are. And they also have a uniform. When you think of the theistic religions, the uniform is often robes, or some sort of attire that looks very priestly. And lastly, each religion will usually have some sort of offering. It's something that it will give you in order for you to achieve or to be a participant in this religion. This is the end result that you get from it. So 6 elements to a religion, and religion is again to bind, from the word religare. So now let's explore some actual religions that we can apply this to, that we can look for these elements and see consistency, can see across the board how we are participating in more religions than we think we are. So here's a table with those 6 elements. I think a good first religion to look at is consumerism. When it comes to consumerism, the ritual that you will partake in is shopping. To be a consumer, you have to shop, and you will shop on some sort of regular basis to be a participant in this religion. There are many doctrines that go along with consumerism, but one of them that I'll list here is happiness. That if you buy that next thing, you'll be happy. If you buy this other thing, you'll look good, you'll feel good. Consumerism often sells you these doctrines of belonging in some sort of way. The temple that you will participate with shopping in is a shop. It could be an online shop, it could be a physical store, but it's going to be some place that you can actually buy things. The idols that you might see with the consumerism religion is celebrities. There are others, but celebrities are usually the one who set the trends. You see what they buy, and then you want to buy what they have bought to be a participator in this religion of consumerism, to follow this religion. There's not necessarily a uniform that goes along with consumerism, but you could think of it like the latest fashion trends or the latest tech trends, the latest collections of things. That's kind of like the uniform of belonging to consumerism. And the offering that consumerism gives you is belonging. That if you consume these things, you'll be like everybody else. If you have the latest shoes, you'll be like everybody else. You'll belong to the group if you participate in consumerism. And most religions have some sort of belonging element to them, that if you participate in this activity, these rituals, these doctrines, then you will be one of us. Another one that we can think of that is a religion is money. Money has a ritual of work or investing. And the doctrine of money is that hard work pays off. And there are many others. If you're an investor, there are going to be principles and doctrines that support that. And we could divide this a lot further, but just to keep it simple, to get money, the idea or the doctrine is that it requires hard work. The temple that you would participate in the religion of money is an office. Your idols might look like CEOs. Those might be your lesser idols. Your greater idols might be the big ones like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or the other very wealthy people that we know of. The uniform, at least in a traditional sense, the uniform of money is suit and tie, financial Wall Street kind of image that the West has perpetuated that goes along with it. And the offering of money is many things, but we'll put security here. Money offers you security, stability, the potential for new experiences that you can spend your money on, many things. And a lot of these categories, there'll be many elements that belong to them. And we'll do one more, which is lifting. So with lifting, the ritual might be taking protein or lifting itself. You might go to a gym. You might have your idols as like the people who are fit in your gym, or the greater idol might be somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger, at least in the olden days, but some sort of mega body lifter, or an influencer might be your greater idol. The uniform is going to be athletic wear. And the offering is going to be a physique. Now, we could go on and on with the religions that you participate in. Technology is a religion, fashion's a religion. There's a lot of these that we can label out. But to move on to the next thing about religion, at its core, how do all of these systems work? What ties them all together? We know that you're bound to something. That's one element we learned from the etymology of the word. But let's go a little bit deeper. Religions, as you probably already know, religions are belief systems. And it works like this. You have a desire, and if you add a certain process, you will attain a certain attribute or a certain outcome. This formula is the formula of a religion. So the desire can be many things. You could desire God. You could desire health. You could desire wealth or purity or many things. And there can be many processes to get there. We have the Abrahamic religions, for example. If you're pursuing God, if that's your desire. If you're pursuing health, it could be dieting or yoga or other things. If you're pursuing wealth, it could be crypto, investing, work, some of the examples we listed before, on and on, right? So you have the desire mixed with the process to get an attribute. And the attributes are really what we were chasing behind the religions, the part that's on the left side of this spectrum. And we can appreciate this left side of the spectrum by thinking of what Plato calls forms. His idea is that outside of this realm that we live in, this physical universe, there exists forms of things, the unmanifested things that represent the essence of something: beauty, love, honor, justice. These are the forms of something, and then in our physical experience, we try to bring those down into reality by certain things. A government is a way of bringing down the form of justice, for example. So these forms are really what we're seeking in our journey, and they can be bucketed into a couple of major areas. These forms we can be looking for can relate to our life itself. They can relate to our body. They can relate to our mind. And they can relate to our spirit. So 4 major buckets of forms that we chase. So if we start with life, the form you could be chasing is happiness. Maybe you're looking for a happy life. You could be looking for a wealthy life. You could be looking for a busy life. When it comes to your body, you could be looking for a fit body or a fat body or a sexy body or many others. When it comes to spirit, you can be seeking God or unity, purity, purpose. There's many things in all these categories that we could list out. And with your mind, you could be seeking wisdom. You want to be wise or intelligent. Or maybe you want to be something a little bit more abrasive, like critical. So these are all forms of things that we're trying to manifest. The religion is the way to get there. So let's look at the body, for example. All of these are going to be connected to some sort of religion. And that religion is how we bring the unmanifest manifest. It turns something that we can recognize, because we can all recognize what being sexy is. But we can't really define it because it's cultural, it's subjective, it depends on a lot of factors. So we can recognize beauty and sexy and things like this, but we don't have a definition for it. The religion is the aspect that tries to define it. You might want to pursue fashion to try and be sexy, or fitness to try and be sexy. These are the definable parts of sexiness. The religion brings the definitions that we describe these unmanifested things into reality, right? So when it comes to your life and you haven't achieved something that you're looking for, it's often that you're not belonging to a religion that brings those things to the surface. You don't have certain definitions in your life or certain constraints that allow the unmanifest to come into existence. You're not guided by rules. You're not bound to a set of rituals and doctrines and temples and places of worship and things like that. You're not bound to any of these things, so that way you're not bringing into an existence. But you are bound to something. And there are things that you are partaking in that you're unconscious of that is bringing some other unmanifested things into existence. You could be lazy, right? Because you're not pursuing hard work or things like that. Or maybe you're manifesting the form of addiction through your rituals of indulgence, right? And participating in habits of taking drugs and going to a certain place to do that, and whatever the case is. So you might have these lower religions that are bringing experiences that you don't want, that you're not even realizing you're participating in. So ultimately, to summarize religion, it means to be bound to something. It's not just a theistic way of viewing the world that belongs to gods and goddesses and things like that. It's how we live our lives. And if we don't live our lives in accordance to certain rules, to certain definitions, we don't get the things that we want. We're not in pursuit, or we're not devoted to those sort of things. So if your life isn't looking the way that you want it to, you're probably participating in the wrong religions, and you can benefit from changing those. You can benefit from doing some reflection and identifying what are your daily rituals? What are the places that you regularly show up to? What sort of idols do you worship, and things like that. They will help guide you to figure out, well, I'm belonging to some religions here that I didn't even know I was participating in. And then you can start to purge those out of your life and pursue something higher. So I hope this was helpful to give you a different perspective on religion that gets more to the core and the essence of what religion actually is, removed from the theistic point of views that relate to the god and goddess thing that we often associate with it, and something that's more tangible that you can apply to your life. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.